This is your Integrated 1 video lecture for section 10.2.2, and so I want to encourage you to read in your book. You can just actually open your book and you can read. You can find it, 10.2.2, right? And you can read over these problems even though we're not together at school. I don't want you to do the problem. I mean, you can if you want, but maybe if you just read these problems, that's going to give you some kind of understanding of why we're doing any of this math instead of just filling in the blanks in the packet. Make sure you pay attention to any math notes boxes that you might come across. Okay, so basically we're finishing up chapter 10 at home, and so 10.2.2, there's a couple. This is going to be your homework packet, and you can check your answers because the answers are attached. You can read the examples. You're going to be combining functions. Sometimes you'll add them, sometimes subtract them. Okay, so it's pretty easy actually. So I'm going to work problem 1, and I think I'm going to do problem 3 for you. Okay, so problem 1 says, Rex owns a business. It currently costs him $2,000 per month to operate his business, but the operational costs are increasing by $10 each month. Rex's business currently makes a revenue of $3,000 per month, and the revenue is increasing by $35 each month. So I always go back to the problems when we first learned how to write linear equations. It was about some people that were filling up a pool, and they already had a certain amount of water in the pool, and then they were adding, I don't know, 10 gallons per minute or hour or something. And we learned how to write equations for that. And so this is kind of, and then we were solving them, doing systems of equations. This kind of reminds me of that. We're going to write an equation for his cost, and then we're going to write an equation for his revenue. So cost is how much he has to pay out to maintain his business, and revenue is how much he brings in. And his profit would be, take however much money he brings in and then subtract out what he had to pay, and then that would be like his take home, his profit. Okay, so that's kind of what's happening in this problem. So it says write one equation for the amount it costs Rex to run his business, another equation for the revenue that his business earns, and a combined equation to model the profit. So I know there's going to be a subtraction here because we're going to have to take how much he makes minus how much he pays, and that's how much he gets left over with, which will be his profit. So I already kind of set him up. I said the cost. I just happened to decide to call it f of x. You could call it, I don't know, c of x if you wanted to for cost. So it costs him $2,000. I'm just reading this right out of the problem. It costs him $2,000 per month plus, $2,000 per month to operate his business. But the operational costs are increasing by $10 each month. So this is the equation that I got for his cost. And then his revenue, he makes $3,000 per month, but it's increasing by $35 each month. So $35 per month plus the $3,000. Okay, that's his revenue. And then so I know that his profit is going to be however much he makes minus however much he has to pay out. So in short, we could write it as the g of x function minus the f of x function. So then I just I set them up, in a kind of stacked them up so I can subtract them. And so I know I'm going to say that the profit, p of x, is g of x minus f of x. And then I just went 35 minus 10 is 25, and 3,000 plus or minus 2,000 is 1,000, and I got that. And then I can go and check my answer if I want. They did kind of the same thing. They used C for cost and R for revenue. They got the same answer, 25 plus 1,000. Okay. So I don't want you just going in here and copying the answers down. That's not what I'm looking for. I want to see that you're doing your own work. So you should write these. Obviously you should, well, I don't know, maybe you could fit them on this paper. I would like it if you put them on a separate paper, because I don't want you just taking these answers and writing them up here. Okay. Number three is, what does it say? For problems 3 through 8, write an equation for the combined functions given the functions below. So it's telling you that f of x is equal to negative 4x minus 7, g of x is equal to this. Hey, that's a linear equation. There's a exponential. G of x is this exponential, and h of x is another linear equation. So we just do what they tell us. They tell us to subtract them. I have to subtract f of x from g of x. So I think I already lined them up on my paper. H of x. Sorry, subtract h of x from g of x. Okay, so this time instead of like stacking them up and lining them up vertically, I kind of did it horizontally. Like this is h of x right here. And then I'm subtracting g of x. Okay, so when I subtract g of x, I have to distribute my negative. So that's why I got the positive 7 and the negative 6. And then I went and combined like terms. So I had a 3 to the x, then this 6 and this 6, they're opposites, so they canceled out. And I ended up with a 7x. So g of x minus h of x is 3 to the x plus 7x. And then I can check it. Okay? And that's it for this one.